Chapter 21, Partners in Crime. You sit across from Bethany Trung in her living room. Neither of you is very relaxed, but you forged a truce. For now. Please, Bethany, I know I have no right to ask you for anything, but we're on the same side for once. I'm trying to put an end to this war. Nothing is going to stop the Wolf and Flint families from tearing the city apart. Not if we don't work together. You say that like you aren't a wolf. I tried stopping you, remember? You cut me off at the knees. I know, and I'm sorry, but I think you might be sitting on the information that could help. I know you had high-level contacts in the families, someone who was feeding you information that you used to your advantage. Who told you that? It doesn't matter. I've confirmed it from several sources. I just want to know who was behind it. That makes two of us. I never dealt with them directly. All I got were mysterious envelopes left at my door. Mysterious envelopes? And you trusted them? I'm not stupid, Diamond. Of course I didn't trust them. But when the first few leads ended up being true, I started putting more faith in what they were saying. If it makes a difference, I'm pretty sure the source was working for the Flints. Most of the info targeted your family, not the other way around. Could it have been Dylan? Dylan Flint. I suppose it's possible. Can you confirm that the Flints were behind this? With evidence? Unfortunately, no. It's just a feeling I had. Then would you at least be willing to tell Nadia and my parents what you just told me? My whole life has already fallen to pieces twice because of organized crime. I'm not putting myself in that position again. It'd be different this time. It'll be neutral territory, peace talks. I'd be there to protect you. Falls into a burst of laughter that's as sudden as it is insulting. Thanks, but no thanks, Diamond. I like my head where it is. She definitely knows more than she's saying. You know in your gut that you can flip her if you really put your mind on it. We both need a friend right now. Instead of letting her get to you, you lean back, the picture of ease. Interesting. I never pegged you as the sort to bow out when things get a little tense. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. I just thought you were dedicated to improving New Athens, that's all. If you really cared about the city, you'd do anything to save it, including putting yourself at risk. Tread carefully, Diamond. You've already seen how I respond to threats. I just wonder how bad things have to get before you act. There have been already a dozen deaths on the streets of New Athens. When does it get bad enough for you to care again? 20 civilian casualties, 200? We're not in Chicago or New York, Bethany. We haven't had our reign of terror, but it's starting. It's gonna be your fault. That's not fair. I'm not the one pulling the trigger. No, but you do have the power to take it with a gun. She shakes her head, more to convince herself than you. Your families wouldn't be happy with about my interference. So, when has that ever stopped you before? I thought you were the one person who wasn't afraid of us, who could put her comfort aside for the sake of others. As you pretend to get to your feet, Bethany raises a hand and heaves a resigned sigh. I really dislike you, you know that? What, because you get played like a fiddle? Does that mean you're in? Of course I'm in. Just like you knew I would be. You barely manage to tamp down your excitement. You won't regret this, Bethany. I seriously doubt that, but this is New Athens, not for me. A civil servant to the last, alright. I need to know more about the mysterious source of yours. Can you tell me more about Victor Flint? How my parents fit into this? Well, Vic, excuse me. I don't need Vic. Let's try a mysterious source. Even if you don't personally see who was leaving the envelopes, you must have gotten some clues from the notes themselves. Honestly, for a while there, I thought it was Vic. Vic? As I said, a lot of the reports centered on your family, but when they involved the Flints, there was a level of detail that felt close. Vic's name appeared in the reports to a suspicious degree. It felt like a misdirect. But then the source gave information that was too dangerous for him to be a false seed. What information? Vic's movements in detail, especially when he was alone. He blew out a long breath, careful to tuck this information away for future reference. This is all useful information, but do you have any specific examples to prove the source was a high-level flint? The bomb at the docks was one of the biggest tick-offs. You mean the one that took out most of the flint men? Yes, I was fed a lot of information about an incoming shipment, but nothing about the planned attack. Which makes sense, since the Flints wouldn't have known anything about it. Exactly, and statistically speaking, the task force took in a lot fewer Flints than we did wolves. No matter how good the intel, there was never any Flint family nearby when we launched a raid. I was pretty close to catching your parents a few times, though. You let out a low whistle. That's telling. If I had to guess, I'd say the source was protecting their own. Me too, except for Vic. The words make your chest feel tight and heavy. Except for Vic. What about Nadia's involvement? The Leo loyalists don't like her, but I can't guarantee that Trung contact is in with them. Not fully. Could she be plotting against her own son? The alternative here is Dylan Flint, so I'd say no. She wouldn't be the first deep spot to decide she was never going to die. Is there any reason Nadia would think Vic double-crossed her? You school your face to look as innocent as possible. No, of course not. And more of the pieces are falling into place, but you still can't make out the full picture. At least, not in a way that'll convince my parents and Nadia. Based on everything you've said, it sounds like Vic and I were being specifically targeted by an anonymous source. Sure looks that way to me. But considering you're the heirs to the two biggest crime families in New Athens, is that really a surprise? It's not enough, but it's something. Thank you for this, Bethany. I mean it. You've got everything you came for, so you head for the door. Bethany looks relieved to see you go. I can't wait for the day all this is behind us so we can move on with our lives. I know you don't want to believe me, but that's all I want too. I'll call you when I need you. I have no doubt of that. A thought pops in your head as you step outside, and you pull out your phone to make a call. Hi, boss. To what do I owe the pleasure? Did anyone ever approach you about Leo Flint? Someone who said Nadia and Vic weren't doing a good job. Probably someone you knew but didn't know well. Oh, it was only the usual gripes. Most people like Vic, if not Nadia. Lady's a hard ass, which I like, but I know not everyone does. There wasn't one old-timer, though. What happened? He worked a job in Turquesa. He was complaining about Nadia, saying women can't run an outfit. Back in my day, that kind of stuff. I told him to shut up, not to go into that machoism bullshit. You stifle a sigh, remembering how your informant behaved when you were sneaking into the docks. At least he's trying. Do you know his name? Didn't catch it, sorry boss. I don't got the energy for guys like that. The guy seemed really cozy with Dylan, though. Does that help? Does it help? Yes. You smile so hard your cheeks hurt. Yes, it does. Thank you. I'll call if I need you. Sure thing, boss. Hey, that blonde chick you were, with when we met, do you think you could give me your No, bud, you cannot handle that. You end the call and take a deep breath as you get into your car. You have miles to go before you sleep. But at least I know who I need to take out at the end of it. You arrive a few minutes late for the next round of peace talks between your family and the Flints. You tiptoe in, afraid of upsetting the mood, but you immediately realize that your tardiness is the least of your problems. My son's in the hospital bed right now, and you want me to believe you're the victims here? For the last time. It wasn't us. If we wanted to kill him, he'd be dead right now. Oh, you couldn't shoot fish in a barrel. As the anger in the room builds, you see bodyguards on both sides of the table starting to grow tense, their hands hovering over their weapons. You step forward. Well, look who finally decided to show her face. Diamond, where have you been? Gathering evidence. A thing you should have done weeks ago. There's a conspiracy against the wolves. and the Flints. I would have tried to tell Mom last night, but I knew she wouldn't listen. Neither of you ever listen. I know it's Dylan, but I need to go easy. Nadia's protected him before. My parents barely listen to me as it is. Straighten your shoulders and command the room the way your mother taught you. There was another attempt on my life last night. Nadia, you two-faced... It wasn't her, Dad. I overheard the kidnappers talking. They were mocking her. I'm going to need those names, Wolf. You let Nadia's anger roll off of you. There are way more important things to worry about right now. I'm only standing here today because Vic showed up and saved my life, but even that was part of the plan. He was shot by a member of the Flint family, a whole hit squad of them. Someone high in the ranks is using your irrational hatred against you. You're also caught up in this war that you can't tell you're being led by the nose. That's quite an accusation, Diamond. Where's your proof? Let's start with Mayor Trung. What does she have to do with anything? She's gone. She's been ahead of us from the start. Remember, she sent that detective to my club the minute I took over? If I hadn't been able to bribe him, we would have been scrambling. Trung was being fed information from a connected source. There's no other way she could have known the thing she did. And since she was attacking the wolves more than the Flints... Wait, are you accusing me? All the signs point to a Flint interference. I'm not saying it was you specifically, but it must be someone close to you. That's an astute point, Diamond. Please proceed. Oh, now you want to listen to me. You nod at one of the bodyguards to open the conference room door the moment former Trung steps inside. There's a collective gasp. Bethany, would you please tell my parents and the Flints what you told me? To your surprise, Bethany shows no sign of fear. She addresses the room. I'd like to state for the record that I wanted no part of this. Your personal conflicts mean very little to me. This is getting off to a promising start. Bethany pierces Dylan with a silencing stare. But if I can save even one life, then I'll do it. Unlike the rest of you, I actually care what happens in the city. Your parents bristle, but you can't help but smile as Bethany speaks. Even now, she sounds every bit the vigilante politician she set herself up to be. For a little while, over a month now, I believe I've been receiving anonymous tips from a source inside the Flint family. Don't ask me to name who, because I couldn't tell you even if I wanted to. But almost every step the task force took was with the tips in mind. You believe you have. As I told Diamond, the tips heavily favored the Flints. Glance as subtly at Dylan as you can. He looks pissed, but his face also kind of just does that. But he's gonna mess up sometime. You're able to tear your eyes away from him when Nadia steps towards Trung. No Flint would talk to you. They wouldn't dare. The mayor straightens where she stands. Not only did they dare, but they did it with an eye to sowing discord among you. Based on the tension in the room, I'd say it worked. For once, everyone is silent, processing how far ahead Trung really was. Now she got there. Thank you, Miss Trung. Screw you, Mr. Wolf. Guy could literally end her right there, but you know, hey, screw you. You can go now, Bethany. You've been very generous with your time. Remember that the next time you try to ruin a woman's life. As soon as the door closes behind her, you resume your case. I know it's a lot to take in, but stick with me. It gets worse. The day Roy was killed, I was attacked by a cop who works for the Flints, Ollie Sullivan. Be careful, Diamond. Ollie's been with my family for years. In fact, he's missing, and I'm pretty sure you all have something to do with it. We have never... I know he's been a loyal associate until now, which is why I find it so strange that he refused to back down, even after Vic ordered him to. Dylan shifts in a seat. You turn towards him. The familiar scowl is just a hint of a tremor to it. Got ya, asshole. Now I've got to get your mom on board. Why was Vic there? And get mine to behave. Because Vic cares about me, Mom. He saved my life 3 different times. My kidnappers knew that, which is why they used Vic's phone to lure me out of the house to abduct me. Vic is being used as a pawn. Whoever is behind this knew about the relationship between me and Vic, and they used that to try and take us both out. Without telling me they were going to. Let's talk about the first hit outside the boutique, excuse me. I told you I had nothing to do with that. Reparations were made. Ah, yes, poor Reg and Finn, your sacrifices. At first, I didn't believe it. Everything pointed towards you trying to have me killed. But then I overheard a few very interesting things in the trunk of my kidnapper's car. Go on. Of everyone here, you can tell that you have Nadia hooked the most. Well, it's because it's her organization at stake. They were loyalists to your late husband's name and legacy. Leo. Nadia's face is hard to read. Anger, regret, disbelief, profound sadness melt her usual stoic demeanor. From what they said, it sounds like they were taking their orders from someone who isn't you, and who only stepped up to take over 6 months ago. Whoever tried to kill me didn't just want me dead, they wanted Vic gone too, and they got very close. I think I've heard enough. Us too. It sounds to me like someone in the Finn family has betrayed us, all of us. Don't worry, I'll find out who's responsible for this and I'll make them pay. I got them right where I want them. Now I just need to make my case. You lock eyes with an uncharacteristically quiet Dylan. Dylan needs to answer a few questions. What are you talking about? This has nothing to do with me. Well, then you won't mind telling me a few things. Starting with how long you've been planning to murder Vic and take his place. You nod for your family's bodyguards to cover the exits. They move silently to lock the door. The Flint's bodyguards immediately draw their guns. Your men follow. Mom, you aren't going to let her talk to me like that, are you? Nadia turns toward you, her attention as sharp as the edge of a knife. I don't take accusations like this lightly, and neither do my men. I didn't accuse him. This isn't the other choice. I said he needed to answer a question. Then maybe you should think about who has the most to gain from all this. Dylan has every reason to want Vic out of the way, since he serves no purpose otherwise. Say that to my face. I will literally do it. I just did. When Ollie confronted us, I asked his misogynistic ass if he liked taking orders from a girl. He told me he didn't know what I was talking about. That doesn't prove anything. Tell me, Nadia, do you tolerate that sort of disrespect in your outfit? Never. You remember the email you found on Vic's laptop? Dylan was angling for some of your men to be fired, right? For insubordination? How do you know about that? It doesn't matter, it's true, isn't it? Yeah, because they sucked. He wanted to replace them with people who would be loyal to Leo Flint and to him. But you're wrong about Dylan. My son isn't capable of that level of deception. Says who? You? As his mother? That's exactly my point. He isn't capable of anything. Oh, he's gonna take the bait. That's not true. I can do everything Vic can. Just ask Ollie. Wah, wah. Nadia turns and stares at her son. The attack at the warehouse was you. I just meant he respects me. He'd follow my orders no matter what. Dylan cast a wild, frantic look around, but the exits are still blocked. There's nowhere for him to run and even fewer places to hide. You'd better stop talking now, Dylan. I got Trung in my pocket when no one else could. I didn't even have to pay. I'm good at this, Mom. Bitches like that are all the same. Easy to manipulate, easier to control. If I were you, I'd watch my mouth. Mayor Trung might be our enemy, but at least she's never stabbed her family in the back. Or shoot her brother in the stomach. Oh, Vic's not even a real Flint. He's more Flint than you'll ever be. Oh, like you can talk. You're nothing without Dad. They should have killed you when you cheated with Hector Prozorov. The room goes quiet, all eyes swivel to Nadia. This moment was the exact sort of thing you feared when you heard her secret at the gala. And Vic's not here to help her explain. You bite your lip as you consider the weight of this decision. I'll defend her. Nadia's private life has nothing to do with your betrayal, Dylan. Whatever conflict you have with her, it's no excuse to take the city down with you. You can feel your parents' eyes on you, trying to figure out what you knew and when. But there's something more than curiosity there, too. Respect. You've proven you don't know the first thing about why the families exist. We establish order. We keep it. We don't act out of revenge. We use violence when necessary, because that's part of keeping order. You can feel everyone's eyes on you, but you welcome it. Nadia knows that. We all attacked each other once upon a time because something horrible happened to the people we loved. But our parents were at peace for years before you screwed things up. Dylan, your little stunt didn't just mess up the city. It messed up our business, which shows you weren't ready to run a pretzel cart, let alone an outfit. You worry that you've overstepped. Then Nadia does the strangest thing. She smiles. Because she can see why Vic likes you. You don't get to tell me how to run my empire. It's not yours yet, kiddo. And the way you just did everything, it'll never be. You'll be sleeping with the fishes. A cold breeze seems to wave through the room as Nadia speaks. Her voice is smooth and calm. Your empire. In the 7 years I've run this organization, we have grown 12-fold. We now rival the most powerful crime families in New Athens. We've got here through patience, cunning, connection. Your father didn't know how to do that, neither do you. Bullshit! You were just too scared to avenge Dad's death, scared to do the right thing. I'm not scared, Dylan, I'm smart. And you are not. Dylan looks left, right, eyes ping-ponging between the enforcers, looking for a friendly face, even just an obedient face. Vinny, come on! Vinny takes a step back, nodding at Nadia apologetically. Tell me, Dylan, have you heard how your father handled traitors? I'm not a traitor here. Vic is. He's the one sleeping with the enemy. Or did you miss that diamond, stupid Sherlock Holmes monologue? But no one answers, or seems to care. He sputters as he rounds a table towards you, drawing his gun. If I go down, you're going down too. I want to disarm him. You approach him slowly with your hands up, your every nerve pulled taut. Stay back! There's no need to be nervous. You're very close now. The gun shakes in his hand as he realizes how trapped he really is. Let me put you out of your own misery. You close the distance with truly staggering speed, shoving his gun hand against his body as you slam him against the wall. The weapon clatters to the floor. Pitch! Oh, I don't even think you know what that word means. You knee him in the groin, he doubles over. He whines, barely staying on his feet. Mom, come on! I didn't mean what I said. I was upset. You know I get upset. You do. I know. Nadia walks closer to him. Her arms outstretched. She embraces him. Oh, Dylan. She kisses him gently on the forehead as she whispers, barely loud enough for you to hear. You are not my son. Now get the hell out of New Athens. You have 24 hours. Then I'm showing you what a real hit looks like. For what it's worth, Nadia, we have some truly remarkable cleaners on standby. You'll regret this someday. Mark my words. Dylan pushes past the enforcers and stomps out. The room feels oddly empty as the door slams shut behind him. The enforcers stow their guns. I think it's high time we renegotiate that truce. You pull in a long, slow breath. Getting rid of Dylan is the first step towards peace. But there's still so much work to do. Nadia and your father confer quietly as your mother approaches you. Good work, Diamond. We couldn't have done this without you. Mom, is that an actual compliment? A compliment, you plenty. You raise an eyebrow at her, she sighs. I should have listened to you. A good boss admits when she's wrong. Good for me, then, that I'm never wrong. Don't push your luck, young lady. But your brother would be proud of you. I'm hard on you because I love you. You know that, right? I know, Mom. I'm ready to move forward. That's my girl. I did it. I finally got through to them. I'm safe, Vic's safe. And as for what comes next, at least I get to help decide it. The next 6 weeks pass in a blur of hospital visits, tense negotiations, and the reconstructing of 2 major crime organizations. But considering the alternative, I wouldn't have things any other way. I stand on the boardwalk in Turquesa, finishing up a call with Faith. He is aware that I will bury him, where no evil will ever find him if he breaks your heart, yes? Oh, he knows, don't worry. We'll be home soon. I'll bring you back some poker chips. Bring me back that waitress and we'll talk. Vic smirks as he hands you a pretzel. She still hate me. Only like 70%. Well, it's better than yesterday's 71%. You end the call, and he takes your hand to continue your stroll. This is the second of 3 daily walks prescribed by his doctor to help him recover. Hard to believe this is the same place we once stood as a pair of optimistic 15-year-olds, huh? Watch yourself, Lynn. No one accuses me of optimism and gets away with it. Only an optimist would have walked into that meeting, made 2 sets of hardened mobsters listen to her. That was the only way to save your life. I'd do it 100 times over if it meant keeping you safe. The smile deepens as a mischievous glint fills his eyes. My hero. Nadia told me about what you said to Dylan. About her and my dad. I hope I didn't overstep. It's really between the 2 of you. He shakes his head. He takes your hand and kisses your fingers. You did exactly what I would have done if I would have been there. Nadia deserves an ally. She's been alone for a long time. You earned her trust. I've never seen her like this before. Peace suits her. It suits you both. Yeah, well, we'll see how long it lasts. You and I will make it last, no matter what we have to do. It's worth it now that we can finally be together. Now who's the optimist? It's not the worst thing I've been called. Have you heard from Dylan? No, and honestly, I'm glad. Now that we're allowed to be together out in the open, I have much better things to think about. He lifts his free hand to your chin, tilt your gaze up to meet his. I'm happy to report that the stitches are out. Dr. Green finally gave me the all-clear with some caveats. The all-clear, huh? All-clear for what? I know a private beach near her. If you come with me, I'd be happy to give you a demonstration of what's allowed. A very personalized demonstration. We've got to get a move on for Faith and Hector. Whoa there. I said 2 years minimum. Alright. But we should practice. I'd love a demonstration. You smile up at him mischievously. I do need to check that wound of yours are healing. A liar, you just want to see me naked. That too. Vic takes you by the hand and leads you along the beach, no rush in his steps as you head to a private, secluded cove. You slip out of your shoes, lay them on the sand. The icy water sloshes around your feet as Vic tugs you towards the surf. A small sea cape waits up ahead. Oh, still a tourist. I'll splash him. You kick the water, sending a freezing spray of foam and salt at his legs. Hey! It's like a wolf to play dirty. How dare you? Splash him again, careful to avoid his abdomen. Oh, you're in for it now. If the stitches are out, he's fine. You're opening your mouth for a comeback when he picks you up and carries you into the cave. Your laughter carries above the seabirds and retreating tide as you protest. Be careful! I'm always careful. Your mouth falls open in awe as you take in the glistening cavern. Very pretty. Should I even ask how you know about this place? Don't forget I grew up around here. He gently put you down on the wet stone floor. The ocean laps lazily against the rock as if you're sharing your sense of peace. You can't remember the last time you felt this happy. Is this how you imagine your life 7 years ago? You, me, empty cove, all to ourselves? He casts you a sideways glance. No, not really. Vic, watch it, I can still kick your ass. Playfully narrow your eyes at him. Lucky for you, we're still in recovery. Otherwise, I'd show you what I'm capable of. I don't need you to show me. I already know. What I was gonna say before you so rudely interrupted was that this life is better than any I could have pictured for myself. You jerk. What? It's a compliment! You set me up on purpose. It's not my fault you're the most gullible monster this side of the Mississippi. I can see I'll have my hands full making sure no one else takes advantage of your innocence. Grab him by the hips and drag him towards you with a low growl. You know how I feel about people calling me innocent. Oh, it's not my fault that you have such a sweet, kissable face. Before you have a chance to reply, he takes your sweet, kissable face in his hands. As soon as his tongue slips between your lips, you're a goner. You sigh, pull him close, reveling in the strong, steady beat of his heart against yours. You sure no one will find us in here? Why, worried about what your parents might think? No, I was thinking of, I'm wearing too many clothes for this. You lift your hands to your collar and begin playing with the neckline of your top. Your fingers skim over the upper swell of your breasts. Why don't you make yourself comfortable over on that rock? This might take a while. A while? How can you be so cruel? Don't forget I'm an injured man. Yeah, okay, dude. Yeah, don't worry. I promise to be gentle with you. You turn your back to him and slowly peel your clothes from your body. His breathing picks up as you reveal yourself inch by inch. Not fair, Diamond. How am I supposed to resist a body like that? You peek over your shoulder to find him zeroed in on your ass, his whole body strained as he holds himself back. Who said anything about resisting? His growl is low in his throat before quickly discarding his own clothing. You notice the bullseye tattoo on the inside of his wrist and grin. Almost forgot about that special little tattoo of yours. You got it for some girl, right? I wonder who that girl could be. He flushes and quirks a lopsided grin at you. You know damn well I got it for you. It's my favorite one. You drop your lips to the tattoo and kiss it. Vic's pulse flares to life beneath your lips. As it should be. He grabs your wrist and draws his finger in a slow circle along your skin. You shiver at how possessive and delicious the touch is. Now all we have to do is get you a matching one. Imagine I need to get a diamond on my leg as well. He moves his hand to your hip, running his fingers along the curve. I mean, you could. If you need a reminder that you can get me to do anything you say. Oh, I already know that. Your gaze falls to his torso. A long surgical scar runs along the center of his stomach. The bullet wounds have healed into dark starbursts that could be precious stones as easily as scars. Puckered skin radiates outward from them like heat from the sun, just another set of beautiful threads in the rich tapestry of his body. May I touch? Please. Run your fingers along his stomach, tracing the line as carefully and gently as you can. When you reach the point beside the lowest bullet wound, you stop. I'm alright, Diamond, I promise. He leans forward and kisses you, slow and tender, like he did on the pier when you were kids. You take in the warm scent, the softness of his skin as the slightest mist of sweat clings to him from your walk in the sunshine. When he pulls away, his forehead is against yours. You can feel the rise of his cheekbone when he smiles. So tell me about these caveats from Dr. Green. Basically, we want to avoid strain. Run your hand along his stomach and then lower as you speak. You? Strain? Never. They also suggested I get a little creative. You think you can do that, Mr. Flint? Oh, I know I can. I'll have you screaming as hard as I damn well please, all without lifting a finger. That's impressive. Yeah, okay. Without lifting a finger. I'd like to see you try. You toast your head to meet his gaze. Do your worst, Victor Flynn. I'm ready for you. I know you are. You always are. Just a single touch. He strides forward, backing you up against. Do you hit the cold cave wall with a satisfied grin? He plants his hands on either side of your head. You said without lifting a finger. You lifted your arms. I don't know what to tell you. The heat beneath your stomach vibrates with need. But as promised, he doesn't touch you. Remember what I said, Hotshot. We're not done until you're screaming my name. You study the glimmering space between you. I like this place. Very dark. Runs his hungry eyes along your body. Every breath sends another tremor through your core. You feel a warmth flush across your chest. Oh, Diamond. He steps closer, close enough to touch you, taste you. Your breath hitches. Somebody wasn't kidding about how badly she wants me. Don't get cocky, Vic. Two can play this game. I know you can, but should I let you? When you're this wanting. His voice surrounds you like a warm bath. You can feel your desire growing. Vic, oh. His lips are only a breath away from your ear. The memory of every incredible, near, unearthly thing he's done to you with them is too much. I know what you do at night, Diamond. I don't even need to be there for you to think of me and feel like this. Vic. Muscles tense, and you can feel it coming. It's unavoidable now, like the motion of the water, the kisses your bare feet. Basically, we did bounce chicka wow wow. What else did you expect? You slide away from Vic, your chest rising and falling as you catch your breath. Vic wraps his arm around you and buries his head in the curve of your neck. That was amazing. The best of your life. Yes, all three of those. He kisses the side of your throat just below your ear, his lips lingering on your rapidly fluttering pulse. But what I was really going to say was beautiful. You're beautiful, Diamond Wolf. Don't you forever forget that. As long as I have you around to remind me, I'm sure I'll be fine. After what feels like hours in his arms, the tide starts sweeping in. You and Vic slip back into your clothing and decide to take the long way back to the boardwalk, giving you plenty of time for a romantic stroll along the beach. The sun has already set, the stars glitter above you. Vic pulls you into a warm embrace. As you stand in the circles of Vic's arms, staring over the ocean next to the man you love, your heart feels full. Penny for your thoughts? I was just thinking how nice it is to be free of this. I can't believe our parents are really letting us go, really letting us go. Well, you kinda did save them from a St. Valentine's Day massacre. Smile mistily up at him. Oh, I just never really thought her story could have a happy ending. I prefer to think of it as a happy new beginning. That reminds me, I have something important I've been meaning to ask you. He fishes in his pocket, extracts a familiar, small, and slightly threadbare gift bag. This is the best day ever. Vic sends the kids on their way with all of his prizes. except for a small gift bag that he slips into his pocket. Is that? You blink as Vic drops to one knee in front of you, reaching into the bag to reveal. That's pretty. Very pretty. Vic. From the moment I met, or when we first met, I knew you were the one I was meant to be sharing my life with. I know our paths haven't been an easy one, and joining our families only makes the road harder, but there's no one I'd rather walk it with than you. Diamond Wolf, hotshot. I know this is a little early, but you did have a venue picked out, so will you marry me? With all my heart. Your heart leaps with delight as he slides the ring onto your finger. It's a perfect fit. You've just made me the happiest man on earth. He springs to his feet and pulls you into his arms. With tears in your eyes, you lift your mouth to his. He meets you halfway, the soft press of his lips capturing your own. Everything about this moment feels perfect. Passionate sweep of his tongue, his body molding yours as he holds you tight and refuses to let go. You really think you can handle a mob, princess? With pleasure. You gasp as he drags your hips towards his, determined to kiss you until your knees grow weak and high tide laps at your ankles. You have no way of knowing what the future holds, but one thing is for certain. As long as I have Vic, everything will be okay. Hey, it's been a hell of a ride. We hope you enjoyed playing Kiss of Death as much as we enjoyed making it. Just remember, blood is bad for business, but bad girls finish first. See you around, hotshot. It wasn't too bad. But first and foremost, before I get into it with you, please remember that if you did enjoy the book, the chapters, and my reading, to like and share the video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the book and the whole 9 yards. And share the community. 11 years of work. That's how long I've been doing this content creation stuff. 11 years. Choices has just been, 5-6 years of it? So, yeah. With that being said, let me get into it, right? I did enjoy it, right? Besides the, the typical, bounce, chicka, wheel. It was alright, right? I've been watching, Peaky Blinders recently. I kind of dig that show. I got into season 1. I'm up to season 2 now. Never really watch a lot of TV or shows or things like that unless they really, really interest me, and then I watch them online. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the book. It's not a solid 10, but it wasn't bad. So yeah, we'll leave it at that, right? It was an enjoyable read. And also, personal note, this marks the completion of another book for myself as well as this channel. If you know, you know. If you don't, hey, there will be an icon on your screen to check out, what all's going on and what's been going on. I know I haven't really been updating in regards to that. I've just been trying to do a million things in my personal life, and then also try and focus on content, because dealing with that and everything else, it's hard. But I plan on updating you guys soon, so stay tuned for that. But to mark another to book off our list, right, that you guys can always come back and revisit, provided that YouTube doesn't get a wild hair up their ass, as they usually do, and decide to delete a chapter here or there, or a whole entire playlist, because it's YouTube, right? This is something that, it's kind of nice that if anything ever happened to me, or choices, or whatever, that you can always come here, right? It's kind of like the one Disney app, right? People can always come back to this channel and see what those stories were about that we got to cover and really got to enjoy. So if anything ever does happen to choices, or, well, anything ever happens to me, you still have the chapters here, and you still got me reading them. So, this is timeless, as long as YouTube leaves it the hell alone, right? That's literally the whole purpose of this at this point. is to continue trying to grow the community, entertain you, make you laugh, have a better day, things like that. So, once again, thank you all for watching. Love your beautiful faces. Catch you all later. Peace out.